All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Ben from Bogo Media here. I'm joined by my friend Connor. I'll let you introduce yourself.
So, Connor, friend of the channel, fan of the channel.
And he does have a YouTube channel as well, so make sure to go check out ConnorBJJ. He's going to be starting to post a lot of UFC content, which is perfect for why we just finished watching UFC 315, and so we decided, okay, we got to do instant reaction because the main event and the co-main event were honestly banger fights. So the first thing we want to talk about is just purely the main event. So I'll let you get us started on that one.
Dude, first of all, that fight was so entertaining. Honestly, maybe fight of the year.
Facts. Fight of the
Candidate
year.
for sure.
Well, what
Um,
else really is there, by the way?
I mean, you could say that Ian Gary fight was up there, but it was really only toward the end that
Yeah,
made it fun. But this one, I did not know who was gonna win going into that fifth round. I was thinking I was leaning towards JDM,
yeah,
and then even in that fifth round, Bilal had him. Like
he did.
He
Took him
took him
down.
down, was doing the ground and pound, but luckily JDM got up and pieced him up. And the right guy won, definitely.
Yeah.
No robbery at all. Um and yeah, that fight was just a banger. Like both guys deserve respect. Bilal especially, bro.
I gained respect for him finally.
Dude, the Bilal hate is a little forced, to be honest, amongst the MMA community. So I think now that, his time as champ is done, the hating can be over with and we can just give him his flowers.
I agree. And I think we'll get to this in a second, but like whoever he fight, let's just talk about it now.
Okay.
Who should Bilal fight next? Because whoever he
Dude,
fights next, it's going to be a hyped up fight
oh, I
because
know.
he's coming off of this literally war. And
Yeah.
I think any other fighter, like with the exception, we don't know for sure, but I think JDM was one of the only guys that could have stood in there with him and did what he did tonight. Like that was a full on war,
I mean, the thing, bro, welterweight is
dude.
at its peak right now.
But like we know Sean Brady couldn't have done that.
I know, and that it kind of it sucks for Sean Brady because he just lost to Bilal, literally
Yeah.
what, 2 or 3 fights ago.
I would like to see that rematch though.
I don't know if that's the fight to make. I think we have a whole new batch of contenders in the welterweight. We've got Ian Gary, we've got Shafkat, we've got Joaquin Buckley, we've
Yeah,
got Sean Brady, and then we got Michael Morales
true.
against Gilbert Burns in a fight. He's gonna throw his name in the mix.
Yeah, I think
And
he's still a little ways back though.
he's still a little ways back, but if he beats Gilbert Burns, he's gonna be looking up
Oh yeah,
towards a title fight, or at least a contender fight. And then we still have Usman.
bro.
If he beats Buckley, people are saying that he's getting a guaranteed title shot. That
True.
changes things now. I think that would have been way more likely had Bilal won because you get
Yeah,
two guys from
of the
the
same
same
era.
era
Yeah,
that haven't fought each other, and they got some beef. They were talking crap a lot.
yeah.
And that would have been a good fight, I think. Honestly, now that I think about it, I think win or lose, you go Usman versus Bilal
Really.
because
So you don't
to
give Usman a title shot if he beats Buckley?
no, because bro, I think Islam
Oh
is
yeah,
going up to
yeah, yeah.
fight JDM.
What's
So
funny is that Islam, Bilal, and Usman, they're all managed by Ali.
wait, yeah,
Yeah,
wow,
that's kind of crazy.
dang.
But yeah, I mean, I could see that.
I
I
mean,
was gonna say also, think about this: Ian Gary versus Bilal. Because I said this. I don't know if I said this about this fight. No, I said about the co-main, but like, I want to see that rematch, like what we just saw. So like, if you give Bilal a fight like Ian Gary and he beats Ian Gary, ends the hype train,
mhm.
and JDM's still the champ, that's deserving of a rematch.
So you want to see JDM versus Bilal too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
I would
did
want
it
to see that
before.
too.
I hated it before.
I know.
I
I actually
didn't
want to see
hate
that.
it. I thought it was kind of interesting, but I definitely did not like Bilal,
Yeah.
and I didn't really know what to expect with JDM. But so what are you saying? So you're saying Usman no matter what?
I'm gonna go Usman, only because there's so many younger guys in that division, amongst the top. I'd rather see those guys go up against each other rather than have them fight a former champion Bilal
I
who's
agree.
36. You know what I mean?
Okay, just throwing this out there. What do you think about this? Shavkat versus Bilal.
I think that's a possible scenario. It's not as hyped now that Bilal isn't champ,
Yeah,
but that is definitely very likely now that we have so many other contenders that are also deserving of a title. It's at one point it was give Shavkat a title shot. That's the fight.
yeah.
That's the next
He's
fight for
gonna be
him.
the next champ no matter what.
Right. But now we've got Sean Brady, who I don't think his next fight is going to be a title shot.
Yeah.
We've got Islam now, bro. Like it's
Okay, we need to talk about that.
I know, but it's a traffic jam in the top five of the welterweight division. We need to get it figured out. It's gonna get figured out after these next couple of weeks when we know the winner of Buckley versus Usman and then the winner of Burns versus Morales. If Burns wins, maybe you go Burns versus Bilal.
I don't well, rematch.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Hmm.
So then I don't know. I think the fight that would make the most sense is Usman versus Bilal.
Okay,
Win
I
or
like
lose.
that. I like that.
Yeah,
So okay, you go with that one. I'm gonna go with Ian Gary because I honestly feel like that's a crazy matchup.
I like
And
that
Ian
too.
Gary needs to get like tested,
Yeah, no,
and
I
he's
agree.
gonna get tested right here.
Yeah,
Like
he
Bilal will come to scrap.
yeah, that would be a good fight. That would be a good fight because you put Ian Gary up against a wrestler.
And I feel like yeah,
That-
yes, absolutely. And I feel like Ian Gary still needs like that moment where we're all saying to ourselves, "All right, give this dude the title."
Yeah,
And if he beats Bilal, even if he does it in like a boring way,
mm,
it'll be like he just beat the champ.
right.
Like go, like give it to him,
Yeah,
you
he
know?
was able to like slow him, cancel him out basically.
Yeah.
Like you got to be
If you
good to
can beat
cancel out.
Bilal, like you're
Yeah,
good.
and the thing with Gary too is like the fact the fact that he finished his last fight the way he finished it, like it
Yeah.
definitely lowered his stock a little bit.
Imagine if Bilal was in the fifth round against him.
Dude, yeah,
Take him down.
just take him down.
Yeah.
So because Ian Gary, we know that he's like a top fighter,
He is.
whether we like it or not.
Yeah, he
Um,
unfortunately is.
but he also has these flashes where it's like, oh, okay, flashes of weakness every now and then, flashes of cuckery. Like he can get exposed. So
Yeah.
when he gets dropped like he got freaking down in Fortnite, like he
Yeah,
did
he
in
did, bro.
just crawling away from freaking process.
Scrawling.
He's literally just like showing his
That's
ass the
crazy.
process. Like he doesn't deserve a title shot. I'm sorry, bud. Like just
No,
because
not yet.
he doesn't,
Absolutely not.
especially with everybody else. I want to see Buckley versus Ian Gary, and then
Oh,
maybe go Ian Gary or yeah,
that would
yeah
be.
Ian Gary versus Buckley, and then maybe go Brady versus Shavkat, and then have Islam fight
I like
for the
that.
belt,
That's
and
good.
then just go Bilal versus Usman no matter what.
I would be happy with actually. I would really be happy with that
Yeah,
because that makes it to where yeah, you when at the end of that you'd have two guys that are like, hey, I deserve the title shot. Hey, I deserve the title shot.
right,
So
right,
one of them might have to wait,
yeah,
but it solves the
and that
problem
happens
of like clearing it out and saying,
yeah,
okay, like these are the two contenders.
where it's just clear.
Like they have to fight.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree. Okay, but we have to talk about briefly because I don't. We want to make this kind of a quick video, but we need to talk about JDM versus Islam because I told you right when the fight ended, I hadn't thought about JDM Islam before
Yeah,
because I just didn't think I didn't know what to think of JDM. I didn't
no,
know where he was. I didn't know if he would be champ, and so we hadn't seen his top level till tonight.
no. He
But now
proved
I watch
himself,
tonight,
bro.
I'm like, dude, he might he might be able
He
to
could
take out
win, bro.
Islam, bro.
Bro, the thing with Islam, he listen, he submitted Poirier and he sunned him. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that
Like
was pretty sick.
it was sick, but bro, Poirier put up a scrap. Like he did not go down without a fight. He gave that was one of I think that was probably Islam's hardest fight.
Yeah,
Maybe besides
Volk.
the first Volk fight,
Yeah,
but I think he took more damage against Poirier
because
though.
there's a lot of standing
Yeah,
going on.
yeah. And he wasn't super dominant in the grappling either.
Yeah.
And we saw during that fight, we saw that JDM was able to withstand Bilal's wrestling. Now I kind of make that point that like it didn't seem like Bilal was heavily focused on the wrestling
Yeah,
as much as he usually
he
is.
should have shot more.
He should have shot more. But we know that JDM can at least like somewhat defend the takedown.
Yeah,
And
for sure,
bro, if we see that Poirier can do that to Islam,
dude.
you don't I think JDM is just like
He's
a bigger
bigger
Poirier.
and he has slightly even from okay, because Bilal's really good at takedowns. Now I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think he had the best like setups on them, and he
Yeah.
wasn't really shooting like fully committed.
He didn't look like he
But
looked
like,
against Leon.
no, he didn't. Like he was really focused on the wrestling in
Yeah.
that one. But like, it almost looked like JDM might have better takedown defense than Poirier. Not
Yeah.
to mention he's
Yeah.
even bigger, and he just
Yeah.
came off a fighting like a Dagestani type wrestler
Yeah.
who can also strike. Like he kind of just got a preview of the Islam fight,
Yeah. Seriously.
but with maybe better IQ or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know if Islam could have taken the shots that Bilal did. Because
Yeah.
Bilal showed a crazy chin. I don't think Islam has that chin.
We haven't really seen that chin that like the most we've seen
And
that
he's been
chin
chin
tested.
checked before.
Yeah.
So he got dropped by Volk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's a
I
big
think
fight.
JDM winning for me is like perfect. I'm very happy he's the champ.
Hey, and that also means, hey, Oliveira fans are
I'm sad about
rejoicing
that,
right now because
but
it's going to be Oliveira versus Topuria for the interim title. I think that's most likely what's going to happen.
if it's for the interim title, I'm happy because then that means that Islam has to come back down. Like in theory, he has to
Yeah,
come back down to
yeah,
fight, and we'll see Topuria.
yeah.
Because I have said to him like Topuria versus Islam is my number one fight.
That's I want to see that too. I
But
honestly,
I'm happy JDM won.
me too. That's the only silver lining, I guess, or
It
opposite
makes it
of the silver
okay. Yeah,
lining. Like the good the I'm glad that JDM won, but it kind of sucks that now we don't get Islam versus Poirier, at least most likely, as far as what we know now. But yeah, this definitely, bro. The current lightweight welterweight division is just so stacked right now. It's so
dude,
interesting.
it is.
You know, I was calling for a Gaethje versus Islam title fight.
Nah,
I don't
that's
know what's gonna
crazy,
happen,
bro.
bro.
That was
Gaethje's getting
crazy.
left in the dust now. Like I don't know what's gonna
Yeah.
happen with him. We don't know what's gonna happen with Armin. We really don't know what's gonna happen with Oliveira quite yet. I think
People think it's gonna be
it's
Oliveira
not
versus
confirmed
him.
yet though.
Yeah,
Um, and then yeah, like we can't forget about like the Max and Poirier. Like, what if Max beats Poirier?
yeah,
Then you know what I mean?
yeah.
He's still gonna be a few fights away from a title shot. So we have in both divisions we have hella stacked, hella people that are ready for a title
I
fight.
no, I agree. It's true. And the
So
matches would be good matches
yeah,
too.
and I really want like I'm huge on seeing new matchups. So I'm a little pissed off about this Poirier Holloway fight, but
I
it's
think
kind
it'll
of
be
like
good.
I
I
think
think
it'll
it's
be
a good
fun.
way for like Dustin to go out and
Yeah,
Max to get another win.
and it's been some time since their last
Yeah,
fight. You can't really count
Max is
when they
ready.
first fought
Yeah.
because they're both so young. But
Okay,
yeah,
so that was an epic main event. And then I was telling Connor, like, as we were getting set up for this video, the co-main was actually really good. And it wasn't like a crazy fight, clearly, compared when you, especially when you compare it to the main event. But it was,
it's a good
and you
build.
said it was like enjoyable fight to watch. And I
Yeah,
agree. And I thought it was close. You could have given it either way. I think at the end, I'm happy Valentino won. And I
yeah,
feel like that was the right decision.
yeah,
But it was a very close fight, and Fioro did a lot better. I don't know how much you want to analyze it, so like I'll let you get into that. But it was a good like flyweight, great like prep for the main event. Did
yeah.
the job of a co-main event.
Right for a women's, for
That
WWE.
too, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um. Yeah, it was a fine fight. I think Kravchenko's kind of in her like the end of her career type of
yeah.
career run, title run. Um, there's not many contenders in her division anymore. Like, there's not like massive fights you can make for her right now.
Hmm.
I think the fact that Natalia Silva beat Alexa Grasso
Yeah,
on that same card, I think that probably will grant
that
her.
has to be the next
That's
matchup,
probably gonna
right?
be the next matchup.
Okay, because who else could there be? I'm
You
like looking here, like
like you could say Aaron
Blanchfield.
Blanchfield if she wins, but
No,
I think the fact that Silva just beat the same fighter that Shevchenko beat, that makes a bit more sense. Also considering Blanchfield lost to Fiora.
what about a Caitlin Chukagian title fight?
For
No,
another
I
run.
agree with you. Silva should be next. I think Silva should be
Yeah.
next.
And I think that'll be a somewhat entertaining fight, but similar to I think most contenders when they go up against Shevchenko, like she's just gonna show Valentina's just gonna show there's levels to this shit, dude.
Dude, yes. Because like I was just about to say, striking, that's a very good match striking.
Yeah,
And she might be at this point in her career like slightly below. I don't know though. I think she's still a better striker than Silva.
yeah.
But what I could see her doing is like since she's so well rounded in every facet of her game, and we
Hmm.
saw this in her prime title run too, like against
Hmm.
Andrade when Andrade was a killer,
Yeah,
she just took her down and mauled her. And
yeah,
like took her down a bunch.
yeah.
A lot of throws and stuff. So she has like a game still, even at this age, to dominate.
Hmm.
Especially if there's a dangerous part like striking against Silva, she'll be able to dominate elsewhere. I
Yeah.
think.
I just sometimes like this could sound dumb, but like the way that she lost against Alexa Grasso when she lost to her, like I feel like her fight IQ isn't always like where it should be for a champ.
I think it went down as she's gotten
Yeah.
older.
Yeah. Like
It
I
could be
feel like
because she gets gassed. Think about it, because
it
she
could
it's
be.
kind of seemed gassed.
Yeah, maybe. But and also it was like a weird
That was weird
it was
too.
a weird like
Yeah,
transition where she was going for a spinning back kick or something like that and
yeah.
then Grasso just
In
like
like the fourth round.
yeah, she just pounced on the moment. But Yeah, I mean, I think if Shevchenko is smart in that fight, hypothetically, if she isn't winning in the striking game, hopefully she's smart enough for her sake to switch it up and try to go for the takedown because she is a very well-rounded fighter,
Hmm.
and I do think that she could take down Silva. That's why I think Grasso should have done, and she didn't do that because
Yeah, Grosso disappointed me.
yeah, like I was rooting for Grasso kind of just because she's got a special place in my heart. But for the UFC, I think it is better that Silva won just because it's like
Gives a matchup.
it gives that matchup. If you have the same guys, same fighters, stay in the top of the rankings, it gets kind of boring. Just getting Alexa Grasso versus Shevchenko 4 or something like
Yeah,
that.
no, actually, I just thought about this. I think we should do Grosso versus Fiora.
Yeah,
Because like
they haven't
Grosso
fought yet.
did have a disappointing performance tonight,
I don't think
but
it's
I
over
still
for her
think
though.
no, and I still think she's one of the best, fighter, top three probably
No,
fighters.
yeah, she didn't even get like destroyed, and she's
Topology
only
picture's crazy.
damn, and she's only 31.
Yeah, she's young.
She's on like on Brandon Moreno type of arc, I think.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes,
Like,
that's a good comp.
Moreno was like at one point you're like, dang, like what's next for him after like a loss or two?
Yeah,
But like he could easily fight for the belt again.
no, I agree
You
with
know what
you
I
on
mean?
that. Yeah, so we're gonna say Shevchenko, Silva, and then Grosso versus Fiora. And Fiora,
Yeah,
I feel like we haven't talked about her, but she did really well tonight.
she did.
I thought like her game. I was telling him before because it's not like we both watched Fiora that much,
Yeah.
but I was telling him before like she just throws one, two, three, like one, two, and then a hook. But tonight she actually like had a very good game plan versus Valentina. She landed some nice shots. She was doing good in the clinch. Like you could see her size was better.
Hmm.
Like she was a lot bigger than Valentina. She used that to her advantage, and her wrestling was better than I expected too. So like she put up a good fight. I don't know if she'll ever be champ. I
She
doubt
did.
it, but she made it a good, interesting fight. It was
Yeah.
a good challenger.
Yeah. No, for sure. We've seen Valentina crush some of these cans in title fights,
Yeah.
and she couldn't do that
No.
with the Beast Fiora. That's her nickname. That's
Yeah.
her nickname, by the way. The
Yeah.
Beast. She is
It's
a beast
nasty.
though, but
Um,
um,
yeah, I mean, that's all I have. We just
yeah,
really wanted to get on and talk about the co-main and the main. So that's what we got. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the fights like we did, and I think we could expect more like videos.
yeah.
We are
Hey,
trying to get out the UFC videos. So I think
like and
like
subscribe, and we will.
like and
You know what I
subscribe.
mean?
Hey,
Like it's up to y'all.
get
It's
us
up to
5 likes
y'all.
on this video. Five
Hey,
likes, and we'll do the next pay-per-view. And the next pay-per-view is this man's most hated fighter,
oh my God,
Don
O'Malley,
O'Malley.
bro. All right,
So
we don't want to get into that.
we're gonna plan on
Hey,
making another pay-per-view video.
if this vid gets 1 million likes, we'll drop my rant video on how on my O'Malley hate
All
piece.
right, just give it 999,999. All right, see you guys.